Steph.
Hello.
Welcome back to another episode of Bariatric Banter Podcast.
Woo-hoo. What?
55.
Ay.
I know.
Crazy,
I know. We say this every time, but like it really is. 55.
right? 5's my lucky number.
Oh,
Look at
okay.
that,
All right. Lucky episode then, I guess.
right? It's going to be our best one ever.
I know, right? Listen, the weather is finally good in Canada. It is
Oh,
hot, super hot every day. I've got like a
yes.
base burn going. Like I feel like I'm a little less
Right?
pale than I normally
I
am.
got my first, I was going to say farmer tan, but like on your calves from your
Oh,
tights. I
yeah.
got, because we were at the cottage on the weekend and didn't even think about it and had like my feet up. And then the next day I was like, oh, there she is. It has begun. Yeah.
I have a I was laying out on the porch and the sun stopped right at my ankle and the rest of me was in the shade and I now have
Right?
the weirdest burn on
Yep.
my ankles that looks like I like had the weirdest little leggings on.
I love it. I love it. It's the season. Now
Right?
you get to see everybody's like weird farmer tan burn lines. I love it.
It's honestly, it's hilarious. And I have to say I really do love the heat and the sun and sitting outside.
Oh,
I
I don't.
forgot how much you have to get used to that
Yes.
because it is draining me. Draining
It
me.
is exhausting, but it's been so nice and it has really made my work motivation low. I'm not gonna lie. Like the last thing I want to do is sit in my basement home office and work when it's
Mm,
27 degrees outside.
yes.
But I said to Devin, I'm like, I gotta get used to it because now like 'tis the season, but I am gonna work from the cottage on Monday. So I'm a little bit excited about that.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah, I agree. It's hard to stay motivated when it's super nice out. I get to
Right?
work on my patio, which is really
Which
nice.
is awesome.
I do work outside often to the point where when I'm in my office, people are like, "Did you move? Like, what is this?" And I'm like, "No, no, I'm just not sitting in a patio chair like a hobo.
Ugh,
I'm actually working." But the sun is just leaving me drained. Like
yeah.
I don't even know how to describe how I feel, but like I'm the opposite of Superman. Like I love the
Yep.
sun, but it in no way is like energizing me after work because
You just
I'm like
pooped.
6:37. I'm like I could go to
I can
bed
go to
right
bed.
now. Yeah, like
Right?
I feel like I've
Right?
been at the beach all day. Like, when you've just had so much
You're just
sun
like
that you're like,
drained.
eh.
Yeah.
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 It's a
No,
water thing too. I know that, but
I'm not gonna complain because now like it's really dark here. We're definitely gonna get a thunderstorm tonight. Which is fine. I love that too. But I'm definitely like a spring fall person. And I shouldn't complain because winter here sucks. But I'm just like, oh, it's already 28 degrees. And I know I complained all winter about the snow, but now I'm gonna complain all summer about the heat. But
I
it
know.
is what it is. I'm
It
definitely a
is.
fall spring person.
I'm a fall like I love fall, but I'm a summer baby and I
See, so am I. I'm an end of May. You'd think I would love
I
summer.
live for this. I live for like let me turn into a prune. Like
Oh, no.
I just want to I'm like
I'm the
bold.
like no, I am the put on the air conditioning so
Ah.
I can just sit inside because like, oh yeah, my mom is like the person, it'll be like 35 degrees out and she's, "Let's go garden." And she's outside just loving life, and my dad and I will be sitting inside in the air conditioning sweating. So, I did not inherit the heat loving gene from my mother by any means. Like I was ready to turn the air conditioning on yesterday. So that will be the constant argument and battle in my house for the next 3 months is I will turn the AC up and Devin will walk past and turn it off and it will be a constant battle. But
Yeah.
at least it's not snowing.
At least it's not snowing. So this week, this actually does tie into talking about the sun,
Yeah.
hilariously. Go with it, guys. I know we said it's a running podcast now, but we'll get back to bariatrics.
Trust me, you'll hear me complain about
Ooh.
running now that the heat is coming. So
I
just give
know.
it time.
Listen, we'll have another, like every other episode's going to be running, guys.
Give
So
time.
go with it. I want to talk about incisions. And the reason
Mhm.
I bring this up with the sun, and people are like, where is she going with this? I remember that being the thing my mom said to me. Oh, it's so good you're having surgery this close to the summer because you can get outside and let them into the sun. Like basically like tan
Healed.
your belly, right?
Yeah.
Like put your belly out in the sun. And I remember thinking, oh, I guess I didn't even think about that, like,
No.
I guess it is great that they're not it's I would be able to basically sit outside and sun my stomach, um, because for many reasons, like, it does help with, like, your scar healing, and
Mhm.
it's good for open air and to let it breathe and to
Yeah.
heal, so it was kinda funny because as I messaged Steph, was like, "I don't actually think we ever talked about ours."
We
I
talked about,
know.
like, what the incisions were, I
Yep.
think, and we talked about how we have, like, 5 or 6 little tiny incisions, but we never talked about, like, what it was like dealing with them, the aftercare
No.
for them, the healing of them, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so buckle up.
Yeah.
Welcome to the bariatric incision episode. Now, for all anybody that's starting to worry that, "Ooh, it's just," no, we're not
It's
gonna
not
get into it.
gross.
We're literally not gonna talk about the gross stuff because I don't need someone driving and throwing up on themselves. We're just gonna talk more
Yeah.
about, like,
And mine weren't gross.
misconceptions and, what it was like to heal them, because I do
Yeah.
remember going into surgery and thinking, "Oof, I don't know if I
I was
wanna
worried about
have,
it.
like, big scars," because I
Yeah.
think what I had seen on social was someone who had surgery for their loose skin, and, like,
Oh,
those
yeah.
scars are, like, you
The,
gonna
like,
have them for
cheese
life.
scar.
Like,
Yeah.
the huge ones that go from, like, the shoulder to the elbow and, like,
Yeah. The
uh,
big, like, abdomen, T
yeah.
shape. Yeah.
So I
Yeah,
think I
yeah.
remember thinking,
Hell no.
I don't know, and then
Well,
I
because you
remember.
have these dreams and, like, aspirations that you're gonna have weight loss
Yes.
surgery, lose weight, and then wear a bikini, and then you're gonna have these massive scars on you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think I did eventually change my tune and say, "Oh, I'll proudly wear the scars because they'll
Yes.
represent, like, all the weight that I've lost," right? But then, like, in the moment, you're like, "Man, fuck that." Like, I
Right?
don't
That's a load of shit.
So, when you have bariatric surgery, you get between 5 and 6 incisions. I think I have 5.
I'm trying
1,
to think how many if I have 5 or 6. I
think
can't even remember.
I can't remember. I wanna say I only had 5.
I think I had
Maybe
5.
you
1?
have between 5 or 6. I can't even
I
I
have
wouldn't
5.
even. Okay, I wouldn't even be able to see them
If I
anymore.
look now this is yeah, if I look, I can't even see them all anymore.
No.
I was this came up the other day because I was having a shower. And I forget what we were talking about, and I was drying off, and one of the girls said something about, "Oh, what's" made a comment like, "What's that?" or something, and it was like the one of my scars, but it's so faint. And then I was like, "Oh," like, and I went to show them the other ones, and I remember having to like really look and be like, "I can't even find all of my scars anymore." But I think if I remember think back, oh, you know what? I actually have a picture of mine I could check, but I'm pretty
I
sure I have
do
5.
I do have a picture. It is on my
Yeah.
Instagram for those who wanna see, but
Yeah, me too.
I remember thinking, "Okay, I don't think I like, what is this gonna be like? And is this gonna be
Yeah.
tough? Is this gonna be challenging?" And when you come out of surgery, you're gonna have about 5 or 6 of these little incisions, and when I say they're half an inch, I mean they're half an inch. Like,
They're
they
tiny.
they do after they heal, kind of
Yeah.
just resemble a little paper cut. In the
Yeah.
moment, yes, you're gonna come out and you're gonna have the little butterfly sutures on and probably a bandage over top of
I was
that
gonna say,
because
I had gauze and tape on mine.
yeah, because for
Yeah,
at least 2 weeks, you can't really get them wet because for
they're
obvious
healing.
reasons, like infection reasons, like, you don't
Yeah,
wanna get them wet and that, but
they're
you come out
they're
of
technically
surgery.
considered an open wound.
They are. You come out of
Yeah,
surgery with just a little bit. I had 1, 2, 3, 4. I had 6. I had 6. I miscounted. I
yeah.
had 6. So you come out with these little tiny ones, and one of them's gonna be right in your sternum, like, right between your boobs, and then the others are just spread
I
around
don't have
your
that
belly.
one.
Oh, I
Is
have
that your 6th?
my
That must
6th
be your
is
6th
sternum. Yeah,
because I have 5 and I didn't have that one.
sternum, and then the rest
Really?
are around my lower abdomen.
What
Yep.
was the sternum for?
I don't know, but I have one in my sternum, and I could that one scarred. That one did
Did you have a
scar.
hernia?
Nope. I had a flawless surgery. I was in and out in under 30
Yeah,
minutes.
and we had the same surgeon.
Yeah, I had a
Interesting. I don't have a sternum one.
well, I think my stomach came out that one, so I don't know. Um,
Weird.
yeah,
Super weird.
bizarre, but
Yeah,
they're
anyway,
not
so
they're not as bad as you think they are.
no.
You will have again between 5 or 6 of them. Um, they don't hurt. So the number one question people
No.
asking me is like, "Oh man, the pain, right? Like that must be an
No.
open wound." And like, yes,
No.
for all intents and purposes, open wound.
Yeah, but doesn't hurt.
Please treat them like an open wound and don't do dumb shit like go swimming in a lake or anything
Oh
like
god.
that.
Don't even have a shower.
Do they
Don't
hurt?
shower.
Not even
No.
like, I am convinced someone could full on have touched it with their finger and I woulda
It
went,
would have been fine. I
Okay.
remember being so worried, like, after I'm not gonna say when I woke up, because when you woke up, you don't really wake up, you're still like, "Woo," but when I fully came to, I remember I'd never had stitches before, I had never had surgery, like, this was all very new for me, and I remember, like, when I finally was able to move around and get up, I remember initially being, like, so afraid to move because I thought it was gonna be so painful, and I thought, like, stitches were gonna rip, and it was gonna tear, and it was gonna hurt. And then I remember, like, getting up and honestly thinking, "I don't even feel like I had anything done." Like,
Yeah.
they didn't feel like anything. It
No,
was
and
crazy.
I'm not even gonna say paper cut, guys, because, like,
No, that
a
hurts.
paper cut's a bitch. I got a cardboard cut the other day. You wanna
Oh,
talk about a nightmare? Like, at that
these
point, I thought I was losing my thumb.
yeah,
They
they're
used
the
to
worst.
sting. Every now and then, you'd get the little electric,
Itchy.
but I'd almost say the electric shock was more my body versus the incision. How do I explain this? Like, it was almost like it went across my stomach, not
Oh,
directed at an incision, right? Like, you would just kinda get that, "Ooh," but it was almost like, did a muscle just spasm and hit it?
right.
Like, it
Yeah.
wasn't to me, I wasn't like, "Oh, number 1 or number 4 is
It
g acting
popped.
up." Like, I didn't have
No,
it. And then,
mine were
yes, they
itchy.
got itchy. They got so
Yeah,
fucking itchy, and it's like
yeah,
having chicken pox, like, open palm rub that shit, don't
right?
scratch at it.
And I think it was more
Oof,
the t for me at least, is the itchy healing, but it was more the
the tape.
tape and the gauze that
I'm
bothered
allergic
me.
to the tape, so, like, when I've had to have
It was
Holter monitors and stuff, my
yeah,
skin,
so
I'll break
itchy,
out in hives, and so that was
so itchy.
that's gross, y'all. I'm just preparing you. You'll be itchy, so find, like, a
Yeah,
little ice pack that if you hold an ice pack against it, it does help. The
yeah,
heating pad does nothing for the itching because it dries your skin out.
yeah.
But the one thing I will agree with Steph is you think you kinda
Uh,
walk around the house like, "Oh my god, don't touch me, don't bump me, ooh."
right,
As
I
soon
was
as I got
so
over that,
paranoid.
yeah, life became way
Yeah,
easier when I was like, "Oh, I can bend
it's
over.
fine.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can walk."
Or like, I'm not gonna rip my stomach open because I literally remember the nurse, he was a really nice male nurse, I remember him saying like, "Okay, like, are you coherent? Like, are you good? Do you feel like you can get up?" Once the anesthesia weared off and everything, and I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Okay, start walking, call me if you need me, but, like, sip your stuff and get up." And I remember going to, like, roll out of the bed to stand up and not being worried because I of the anesthesia or anything, but being worried because I all I could think in my head was, "Oh my god, you have stitches. Oh my god, you're gonna tear your cuts open. Oh my god, you're gonna," and then going to move and feeling nothing and just
Right?
being so caught off guard and being like, "What?" And then I remember even, like, looking and being like, "Did they do like, do I have cuts?" And then they're covered with gauze and stuff, but I just remember going so carefully to move out of the bed
Yep.
and then being like, "I can't even tell that anything
No,
happened."
and then you realize, "Oh, okay, it's not as fragile," and the
Yeah.
tape that they're using could be used on the goddamn space shuttle. Like, this
Oh my
tape
god.
might as well be liquid fucking
I
cement.
was so happy when it started to I had when I went for my 1-week follow-up,
Yep.
at the doctor's office, some of the tape and gauze had fallen off on their own, and I was so happy. I was so happy that it came off because it was bothering me so bad, but
Yep.
like you said, I didn't wanna number 1, I didn't wanna take it off because 'cause you're not supposed to, but
Mhm.
because, yeah, that it's like that shit's glued to your stomach.
100%.
Oh, it's
100%. And
horrible.
2
It
weeks.
hurts more than anything else.
Oh, it's unbearable, and 2 weeks it has to stay on
Yeah,
minimum. So, the rule is there's 2 rules. If the tape, because you have 2 layers here. You've got the
yeah,
butterfly sutures, which are just like the thin strips that hold everything together, and then you're gonna have a layer of gauze and then tape and
yeah.
blah, blah, blah. If the tape falls off, as long as it's been longer than, like, 4 days, they say just let it
Leave it.
go, it's
Yeah,
fine. If you're in your first 4 days and tape is falling off or your bandages come off or your incision opens, this
you
is
gotta fix
super
that shit.
normal, guys, super common. Do not panic.
Nope.
Literally go to a walk-in clinic, hi, hello, and get it fixed, and I say
Yeah,
that from experience. It was
but
day
you gotta
3.
fix it.
Yeah, day 3, I
Hannah's been
looked
there.
down, tape was missing, and I
Yeah.
went, "Uh-oh," and it
Uh-oh.
was open, and I was like,
The incision, to clarify, your
yeah, I was
incision
like,
was open.
"Uh-oh,
Yeah.
it looks angry." Now, like, these are very superficial incisions, so it's not like you're like, "Look, I can
Oh,
see
my
straight through."
stomach!
Like, it just looked like a
Looks like a
really
cut.
pinky reddy scar, and I was like, "No,
Yeah,
that looks
not
not
good,
good." So
not
I
good.
just went to my little walk-in and I sat there fucking swinging my
Yep,
legs in the chair, and then I went back
not
and
a
he's like, "Hey,"
problem.
and I was like, "Had bariatric surgery 3 days ago. One of these is open.
Yeah.
"Ugh, I don't think
This
it should
doesn't
be."
look normal.
Nope, so he took some iodine and he hosed it down with iodine, and then he
Yep.
sealed me back up, and out I went, and I was
Yeah.
perfectly fine.
It's not a big deal, you just have to address it.
You do have to address it. You do have to,
Yeah.
but before you know it, guys, your 2 weeks will be up, and
Oh
these will
gosh,
be
yeah.
healed well before 2 weeks,
So,
by the
yeah,
way.
I went for my 1-week follow-up, and I think 2 or 3 of the 5, the tape and the gauze had, like, started to come I had 2 where it had fully come off, and I had 1 where it was, like, half off. And so I remember saying it wasn't my doctor, she was on vacation, but I remember saying to the doctor who was there, "Do I have to cover these up? Can I leave, like, can I leave them?" And she's like, "Oh, no." Same thing. She's like, "It's been a week. They look good. If everything fell off on its own, just leave it alone." And I remember just being like, "Thank God." Like, the last thing I wanna do is tape this shit back up again. But, yeah, like, stay out of the water, da 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 da. But I remember being so happy when she was like, "No, if the gauze and tapes come off, like, just let it be. Just keep an eye on it." Because that was hands down more annoying than the actual incisions themselves.
Exactly.
So you
Um
just it's fine.
And then once they're kind of on their way, this is where we get more of the questions. So you're healed, you're good, you're done, you're at your 2 weeks. And then the questions kind of become, and you'll see this on Reddit a lot, and I Googled this a lot. How do I prevent
What do we
scars? What do I do? What do I do? Because in those
Yeah.
early stages, you will be like, oh my God,
It
is
looks
this
gross.
what I'm going to look like? Like you
Yeah.
have, they become raised, by the way, because that's what
Yeah.
new skin does, guys. But you basically get these big raised looking welts
Red,
and
purpley. Yeah.
purpley,
Like
light pinky, like a
yeah. It looks gross.
like a baby mouse. It's
Looks
just a
gross.
gross color, and you really start to think, "Oh."
Oh lord.
So you Google, and you Google, and you Google, and you're gonna see a million recommendations. You know how I feel about it, a lot of it's crap.
Crap.
So
Yeah.
no, I did not get that, like, I don't know, there's a brand called about scars, and you can get, like,
Bio oil.
that one I liked, but you could get, like, scar bandages or
Oh, and like scar tape.
yeah,
Yep.
I did not do any of that shit.
No.
No, but I did get oil because I asked
Yep.
my mom, who's a nurse,
Yep.
I was like, "What should I do with these though? Like, what can I,"
Vitamin E.
and that's what she said. She's like, "There's nothing you can do for like, there's
No.
not much you can do."
No.
So she did say, like, get some really good vitamin E.
Yep.
I got the no name knockoff kind from,
Yeah.
I think, like, Shoppers Drug Mart, and then her advice was go sit out in the sun. Like, let it
Yeah.
open air heal, let it get some sun on it, let it
Yeah.
get some color, and that's what you can
Let
do.
it breathe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keep it dry, keep it open to the air,
Yep.
dry as in, like, don't let moisture build up, and then use some good vitamin E
Yeah.
and just let it do its
That's all.
thing.
Yeah, you can't control like, your skin's gonna heal how your skin's gonna heal. Same with, like, loose skin. Your skin's gonna do what it's gonna do. You can only do so much for it.
Correct.
So I did the same thing. I did, like, I think it was, like, a coconut vitamin E, some sorta something combo. But, yeah, like, I just put that on it. Like I said, don't let it breathe. Wore light clothing, because mine was more like no end of October, beginning of November, but kept, like, just did bra and pants for a while. Just basically, yeah, don't have things rubbing on it.
Yep.
Air it out, let it breathe, and it's gonna it's gonna go down. Like, it gets worse before it gets better. And honestly,
Correct.
like, I had a shower the other day, and I was looking for mine after one of the kids pointed one of them out. I couldn't even find them all.
Nope.
I couldn't
They
I could
do
not get all 5.
they do eventually go away, which
Yeah.
is great. And then, like, yeah, the best only like, really the only thing you can do is, do your best to keep it dry, keep it go, and,
Yeah.
like, don't stress too much about the scar thing. I just don't waste your money on, like, quick hits or quick fixes. They're very tiny. So even at the end of the day, if you don't, let's say you do nothing with them, they are so hard to see once
If
they
you
have finished
Yeah.
healing. It's
If no.
crazy.
If you put a
They're
bikini on and walked past somebody,
they'll never see them.
they'll never know. It's not like you said, like, you see those people with the big who get, like, fleur-de-lis skin removal, or they get, like,
Yeah,
men especially who get, like, after weight loss surgery, extra skin around, like, the breast area, like, those are big honking scars.
correct.
These, you would not bat an eye at. Like I said, if you have a
No.
bikini on, no one is gonna notice unless they're really, like, looking for them, and even then, like I said, I can't find all of mine. And all I did was oil, and that's it.
All I did was
And
oil.
they don't hurt. That's the big I was really worried about them. I was really not I wasn't so worried about what they were gonna look like. I was really worried about the pain afterwards and moving with them and ripping them open, and like I said, I had never had stitches, I had no idea, and then I literally remember laughing when I got out of the bed and just being like, "Oh, okay, this is fine."
This is totally okay, and there I'll take try to take a picture for Instagram, but, like, it is so super tiny at this point. The purple weird color has gone away.
Yeah.
They don't even have like, they don't even look like stretch marks or old scratch like, the stomach really does heal quite well, but I will say getting color, getting sun on an area that typically does not get a lot of it did help as well, just have the color even out a little, so it
Mm,
wasn't so
mhm.
purple and weird, it kinda became a little bit more normal, but just don't you don't have to waste your money on a ton of, like, crazy, weird, quick
Healing
fixes because
things,
I
no.
really like even with the oil, I think it was more like psycho what do they call it? Like, in my head, it was more
Yeah.
like a placebo
It
effect.
made me feel like I was doing something good.
It made me feel good,
Right.
but I
And I
don't
mean,
need it
either way, that's not bad
every
for your skin. Like, I
not
still
at
put
all.
oil on after the shower, just in general. It's
Correct,
not bad. But yeah, don't
correct.
buy crazy scar tapes and scar specific moisturizers and whatever because it's fine.
It is totally fine. And so yeah, I worried about them. I think I let the incisions become a really big mountain that I thought I'd have to overcome in terms of
Mhm.
pain or looks or aesthetics. They ended up becoming a very, very small component. They are 2 weeks of your life that you have to pay attention to them. And honestly, if they are aching or hurting a lot, go see someone because you
Yeah.
should not even notice that they're there. I found ice to be way better than a heating pad. I just thought it helped with the itchiness and kinda helped just dull it a little bit more, which was really nice, and then
I
after the
made Devin blow on them.
Oh,
I
yeah.
made I made Devin just sit there and blow on them, and then I found one of those, like, neck fans, and I
Oh,
put
yeah.
the neck fan on, and it felt so good.
See, that's nice too.
I, like, aimed the neck fan at the cut, and that was just it felt really good too.
Oh, I like that. See, that's a great idea.
That's a
But
good
yeah,
one.
I wouldn't for the people who've been asking, I would not
Don't
worry.
worry about it.
I don't think I would put anything in your bariatric kit for this. I wouldn't
No.
even give it like a
A
thought
second
a
thought.
day. I think the one thing Steph did say I would say is good advice, watch the clothing after surgery. You don't want anything rubbing against it, that's for
No, you
sure.
don't wanna get, like, tight,
Um,
sweaty clothes. Like,
so
don't wear tight
leggings
tank tops where you're gonna get
no.
moisture buildup.
Yeah, leggings are a no-go, tight tank like, you want loose baggy
PJs.
flowy. You wanna sleep
PJs.
with, like, no shirt on, sorry guys, but, like, you wanna let that air out as much as you
Yeah.
humanly possibly can, especially if you're a summer surgery person. Um, but
Yeah.
no leggings and no tight tank tops, and I don't know why this is popular, no waist trainer. I for
Oh
some reason,
gosh,
people
that
get those,
shit
like
drives me
Ugh, and it
bonkers.
came up all the time in my pre-surgery research that I needed a waist trainer and I needed to get a
No.
cincher and I needed something to because it was gonna really help with the loose skin or the pain after surgery.
No.
Dumbest,
No.
dumbest, dumbest advice I've ever
No. Don't do that. Don't do that. No. I'm really curious though, and now I wanna know why you have the sternum one and why I don't.
I don't know, Steph. Maybe we
I
have
know.
different maybe we're just built different. I don't know.
Maybe.
Maybe they were like, "We can get it out from up here," and yours just wasn't coming out that way. I don't know, but
So strange, eh?
I got the wee little, which is totally fine, and then
Yeah. I don't I'm gonna check my pictures, but I don't no, I got nothing there.
yeah, I checked my pictures. I got
I
the
don't wanna check my pictures because 'cause I'm using my phone and I'm afraid if I go into Instagram, it's gonna kick me out of our podcast.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah,
I'll check after.
it
Weird.
you don't
But
get
yeah,
to
there
see
is like it is kinda cool that there's a little hole. So, like, for anyone who doesn't know, we should explain and preface, it's laparoscopic, guys. Most of you, I'm sure, know this. So that's why
robotic.
there's, like, multiple little scars from where they put the cameras in the pinchers, whatever you call them, like, the little grippy, grabby things and the video camera and whatever. But then there is one little hole where they pull your stomach out. And it's crazy to me that that's the smallest hole. And I remembered when I was researching the incisions, and it says that your smallest incision is actually the one where your stomach came out. And I don't know why, but that
Yeah,
always just kind of like blew my mind. Um,
it
but
is.
yeah, so that's why you have multiple incisions is because you have like a camera, you have two arms that they like manipulate to actually do the surgery. So you have multiple things in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember the smallest hole being the one where your stomach came out. And I remember after looking at them, trying to figure out which one was the smallest because I wanted to know where they pulled it out from. Yeah. It's
I mean,
weird.
that's I wish I knew that going in. I did not know that's where it was pulled out from, but I think, the reason my incision is up so high is, like, that's my liver retraction spot. So it
Oh,
just
that yeah,
depends when you lay down, it
right.
genuinely just depends on surgery day.
Where
Where's
your things
your
are.
liver? How big is your liver? Like,
Yeah,
like, they do try to shrink your liver before surgery, but some people's liver just isn't gonna shrink enough, so it will determine
yes,
where they have to go in. Because if it's a tiny liver that they just need to push out of the way, so
yeah,
you'll notice that everybody's first incision, it starts at the sternum and goes under the breast area.
yeah,
So most people have an incision kind of
in
along
there.
there, and then
Yeah,
the rest are like your stomach, right? Like, they make almost like
right.
a smiley face. So, we do have the same incisions, mine's just
Yeah.
slightly higher up,
They're
but
gonna do the path of least resistance, right?
yeah,
Wherever they have to do the shortest distance and the easiest
correct.
manipulation is what they're gonna do. And
And you
that's why, like, what I'm assuming is they do your incisions first, they put in the camera, they put in the thingies, they figure it out, and then based on that, they this is probably getting gross for people, but then they'll make the incision where they pull your stomach out based on where everything sits and lies.
correct.
And that's probably why some people's is a little higher, some is lower, some is here. Yours might be more higher in your sternum, mine's lower down, whatever. Just based on whatever's easier for them at the time, because they're gonna do what's
It is
cleanest and
what it is.
smoothest and easiest.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Uh, and it is what it is. So I wear them with pride now. I love my little one on my sternum. Like, I can see it's just so tiny and right
it just
there.
blows my mind to think
Just
of what they did with such little
yep,
to do, like, because there's so many people that still, when you say bariatric surgery or gastric sleeve or bypass, whatever it is, they still think of the old school where
yep,
they, like, did a huge incision in your stomach, which makes sense because that's how things were done back then. But
yep,
it just blows my mind, and it's so cool to me to think of what they can do with such a little impact to your body.
exactly.
And,
And
like, yours, like, yours was day surgery.
day surgery. Do, do,
Like, it's
do.
crazy, right? I
Yep,
had to stay overnight because of how far I lived from Emerge or
yep.
from the hospital in case something happened, but, like, the next morning, they kicked me out of there real quick.
Oh, I
Like,
was kicked out real quick. Go.
go home, get out, you're fine. We don't need you here. But, yeah, it's cool to look back at those tiny little scars and think of how much change came from those 5 or 6 little
Exactly.
marks.
And how big that felt before it happened, how big of
Yeah.
a challenge that felt, and how maybe anxious I was about that aspect of it, and now can look back and go, yeah, I'm really glad I didn't let that hold me back or stop me.
Yeah.
Really, I wear them with pride now, and they do remind me, like, I do look
Yeah.
down, okay, remember why you worked this hard. Like,
Yeah.
remember what you did.
Yeah.
Let's take you back. Remember that feeling, remember that moment. Like, yeah, yeah,
But yeah, it makes me chuckle to think of like how worried I was about now looking back, how worried I was about that part of the surgery. And now looking back and being like, "Pfft, really, Steph? Like, okay, drama queen. Like, but in the moment, it seems like such a huge
I think it's
thing.
also it wasn't just the incisions. It was
Yeah.
just that's what was coming through from our anxiety in that
Yeah.
moment was, "Oh, man, these incisions, like, what if they rip open or what about the," and the truth is, like, it wasn't that.
It's the
We
full
were we were
package.
so anxious about this change, and, like,
Yeah.
it's the you can find any reason to not do something, and your
Oh my
anxiety's
gosh.
gonna
Yeah.
try to latch on and be like, "Well,
Yep.
what if I can never eat this again?" Or, "What if this incision hurts?" Or, "What about the pain?"
Yeah.
Like, there's always something, and so I think that's a large part of it. We weren't
It
really
is.
worried about scars. We were
No,
looking for a way to be like, "You know what? We shouldn't do this surgery because, like,
because,
you might have
yeah.
a scar in your stomach after, and that's not gonna be
Yeah.
attractive." You know
Well,
what's not attractive either? Like, being 325 fucking
but
pounds.
then you also, like you start going down the rabbit hole with those things then, right? Like, you
Yep.
start hearing about the horror stories of
Mm,
incisions and infections and after care and complications. Like, you start going down this rabbit hole, because you find something to latch on, and then you hear all these horror stories, and you hear different people's situations. And even when we talk about like recovery pain, I remember messaging you because I was going down the rabbit hole and I was hearing and reading all these things about people saying how like recovery when they woke up in recovery, it was worse than childbirth. And they were
I
like,
remember.
yeah,
Yeah.
remember? And they were in, like, excruciating pain and people saying that, like, they would never do this again, and I
Yeah.
I remember sending this to Hannah and being like, "You never told me this, like, you said it was fine. I'm not doing this." But everybody's perspective is different, right? And so,
Well, yeah.
I remember that, and then, yeah, you go down these rabbit holes and you hear the horror stories because that's what people put out there,
Well,
not
and then my
you don't
response to you was like, "Steph, please stop reading it. It's total fucking bullshit." Like,
right?
I
I
remember saying they either
Yeah.
never had the surgery and are lying on Reddit because you have to remember there
Yep.
are weird people,
Oh gosh,
or
yeah.
they're super over exaggerating or something went wrong.
Yeah.
We watched a video of a woman who was like, "I can't even put a shirt on," and
Oh
someone
my I remember that one.
me,
She's like, "My
I was like
incisions are ripping my skin apart," and I was like, "What are
"What?
you talking about?"
What fucking surgery did you
Right?
just have?" And, like, so my
Who
friend who's a
Jack the
nurse,
Ripper to you?
not to, like, make anybody feel bad, but my friend's a nurse, and so when you're in the beds, they do have that little button you can push where if you need to,
Yes.
like, get a
I need
little
help.
you need help, or the button that says, "Give me some painkillers, I'm in pain," right? And
Yes.
it's limited. She's like, "You can't just keep pushing it and get it.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
limit." She said, "But we track how often that button's pushed,"
Yes.
and she said, "You know who's at the top of the fucking list, Hannah?" And I was like, "Who?" "Bariatric patients." She
Which
said,
is
she said, "You guys
ridiculous.
top the list out of anybody who's had something, just, like, put," and I realize, and I'm gonna offend people by saying this, we tend to maybe be the bigger babies of the surgery world, obese people, and
I'm a what?
it's like
Here
someone had to drag us into this surgery, and so we're just like,
right?
"Oh my
I need
god."
help. This is what I told a friend of mine who had the surgery after us because she was because she was reading the same things, right? And she was like,
Yep.
"Steph, this person same thing. This person's saying it's worse than childbirth and da 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 da." And I said to her, I'm like, "I am the biggest baby on the like I am a wuss. I
Mhm.
complain about everything. I have zero pain tolerance." I was like, "If I tell you the recovery is fine, trust me, the recovery is fine."
Yep.
Like I don't understand what these people are talking about. I'm sorry, but if that's you, you need to go back and have a serious talk with your surgeon because
Something went
that's
wrong.
not, yeah, like
Yeah,
that is
something went
not,
wrong.
no.
If you can't
It's
physically
no.
dress yourself, something went wrong. If you are in so much
Right?
pain that you need massive painkillers or morphine, something went wrong. Because
Yeah.
when I literally tell you I walked in
Uh,
at 7 and I walked out at 3 in the
right.
afternoon, and we got home and my mom's like, "I'm going to bed, I'm tired, you must be too," and I was like,
I'm fine.
"Sure?" And I went and laid in bed for, like, 6 hours being like, "Fuck,
What
I'm
do you,
bored."
yeah.
Like, Christ.
Once the
So,
anesthetic wore off and I
yeah,
could actually like hold a conversation
I was
and be
fine.
coherent, I
I
was
was
fine.
fine.
I was up walking laps. I was so bored.
I was
I
so
couldn't
bored.
sleep because I can't sleep in a hospital. Like I can't sleep unless I'm comfy. And I was
Yeah,
sharing a room with somebody who was so loud and ridiculous and just anyway, I didn't sleep not because I didn't feel well, because I was bored.
I
And
was
I
bored.
remember just like walking and just being like, get me out of here.
Yeah.
And even then when they finally kicked me out the next morning, Devin was downstairs holding the parking spot. And I only remembered because the doctor had just left and you can't lift anything afterwards because you did just
That is
have
true,
surgery,
though,
right?
that's true, you can't get a
Yeah, it
hernia.
is true, 100%. But I
Hernias are
remember
so easy to get.
Devin holding the parking spot and me not even thinking that I needed him to come up and lift my bag and stuff because I felt so fine.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I was like, oh shit, you got to come up and carry my bag.
Yep.
And he was like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So he came up and like it was great. But then even getting in the truck, he like went to help me. And I was like, I'm fine. And
And
the
it's
drive
not
home, we hit a bump and he's like, I'm sorry. I'm like, I'm
it's
fine.
fine. And it's not the risk of pain from carrying things,
No,
like,
it's hernia.
it's hernias on incisions specifically, so don't think it's like the hernias that you get normally. It's
Yeah.
that you could get I can't remember the name of it, but basically your incisions can form hernias,
Yeah.
so they just don't want you lifting for
But
that,
like
but
didn't
yeah,
even
it
yeah.
wasn't bad. Wasn't bad.
No, and then I just remember thinking about this person who had that, like, worse than childbirth. I was like, "What?"
No.
Something was
And
not right.
remember, this is unique to VSG. There's a reason, like VSG, you get back on your feet faster. This is
Faster,
not,
yeah.
this is not common for the other types of surgery. It's not as bad. Sorry, it's not nearly as bad, but
Yeah,
VSG is promoted as the one where you'll be on your feet and back to normal
yeah,
fast.
yeah. It's
Which
the
is
least
cool.
invasive out of all of them. But
Yeah.
I just yeah, I remember, like, getting hung up on certain things like this, and then afterwards being like, "Well, that was easy."
So there you have it,
Save
guys.
your money, guys.
Don't be intimidated by your
No,
incisions. Don't worry about scarring. Please don't go buy a million products for it. Your
no,
body
you're
will
fine.
handle it. Get air, keep it dry, put it out in the sun. Oil is okay. Like oil was just nice in general to keep the skin moist instead of
Your skin
flaky.
gets dry because you're
Um,
not showering, so you do
well,
get
that
dry,
too.
right? So yeah,
But
it is nice, just moisture.
just basics, guys. You don't need special fancy dancy
No, no.
scar things because at the end of the day, they are so unbelievably goddamn tiny that you'll feel like you really wasted your
Yeah.
money on
You're
that.
you
Spend it
can
on
rock
other
the
things.
bikini and tank top and tube top and sports bra afterwards with
Yep,
no concerns.
exactly. So good luck to everybody entering it, everybody coming out of it, everybody who's hitting their 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 year. Tell us about your scars. Good luck to all of our listeners that are having surgery soon. Like always, Steph, thank you for joining me on this
Thank you.
episode. I'll see
I'm
you
gonna go
guys.
count my scars now.
I know. We'll see you guys in 2 weeks. I'm going to take a picture of mine.
I should do that too. We should do that because we have our before, like we have our immediate post-op.
Yeah.
We should
Yeah, we should.
see if you can find them. Like, where's Waldo?
Waldo. Okay. All right. That's my
Love
weekend
it.
plan. Bye, guys.
Amazing. Bye.